Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. I'm your host, Kiera Dent, and I have this crazy idea that maybe I could combine a doctor and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, regional manager, practice owner, and I have a team of traveling consultants where we have traveled to over 165 different offices coaching teams. Yep, we don't just understand you, we are you. Our mission is to positively impact the world of dental, and I believe that this podcast is the greatest way I can help elevate teams, grow VIP experiences, reduce stress, and create A-teams. Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kiera. Happy day to you. I hope today is just an awesome day for you. I hope you're loving your life. I hope you're living your dream of a life. I hope you have a vision board that you're looking at every single day for what you want to become in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I hope you just at least have a vision for who you want to become. Guys, this is your life. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. And I hope you're taking it. I hope that you're envisioning your life fully playing it to the fullest of whatever your version of is the fullest. That doesn't mean running ragged. That doesn't mean being exhausted. I hope you have energy for you. I hope you're living that best life. I hope you're taking care of you. We talk about your practices all the time, but I hope you're genuinely taking care of you as a person. All right. I want to dive into a really fun topic. Are you guys ready for it? I hope you are. We have some awesome listeners, and I love when I hear from you. Truly, it makes my day when I actually get a podcast tip on our website. You guys can go in there and you can write podcasts that you want me to record for you, and I'll do it. I literally have my phone right here with all of my podcast topics for you guys. It's a long list. It's really fun. And so today, this is actually going to a member who said, as a startup practice, what hiring of team members should we hire first? Like what's trainable and what's not? And I actually think this is a really good piece for you guys for any practice, startup or not. And so I wanted to dive into like, what do we do for hiring our first team members of a practice and or even experienced practices? So also, just as a quick reminder, if you guys love our podcast, which all of you listening, I know you do, please leave us that review and share this with somebody. There's no way without you that we can get to 1 million people that we have blessed their lives with this podcast. And my goal is to serve, it's to give, it's to just share and inspire and empower, because I believe that dentistry is the greatest profession any of us could be a part of. And we're living this. So let's make life easier. Let's give you guys the secrets to success. Let me literally give you the step-by-step guidebook to all people in this practice. And if we can help any of them, share this. So I want you to think of one colleague, one friend, somebody, dental or non-dental, that you can share this podcast with today and just send it on over. Send it on over, teach them, or one of your favorite ones. You guys can go to our website, thedentalyteam.com. You can look at our podcast. You can search any topic. I don't know if you guys know that. We have over 700 episodes. If you don't know, that's a lot. That's like a whole database of knowledge. I have literally given my best of my best of my best for you guys. It's tactical. It's practical. The consultants are on there. We're literally giving you the most brilliant dentistry we know how to give you, and we're doing it for free. So head on over, look up any topic for your practices, search if you want to know information on billing, if you want to know information on treatment planning, if you want to know information on case acceptance, if you want to know information on overhead, if you want to know information on associate doctors, on practice ownership, on leadership, type those topics in, and any podcast that we have ever done will come up for you. So it's an easy way to sort. So go find your favorite episode, share it with a friend today, and just know I appreciate you personally and professionally. All right. So for these practices, for a startup doctor, let's go that way first, because that's who wrote in, and I feel that doctor deserves me to give you truly a one-on-one coaching. This is what it feels like to also get coaching with us. You come in with your problems, your issues, and we literally are a fairy godmother that grants you your wishes and gives you the answers and helps you with it in the easiest way possible. So if this doctor was a client of ours, on our coaching calls, on our teams, on our groups that we have, they come in with their individual problems and we answer your individual problems. It's truly magical because that's what I want from a coach. I want to be able to email you, ask you my questions, and get the results for my practice, not in generality. So this will be kind of an example of what a coaching call feels like for you. So for those of you who have been fence sitters, not sure if you want to work with a coach, not sure if that feels good. Some of us are like, I should know how to do this. I'm a doctor. Yeah, you are, but you didn't learn all these things. You were never a team member, most of you. Let's give you the tips. Let's help you. Let's share with you. So this doctor says, what's hiring a first team member as a startup? What's trainable and not trainable? So to that doctor, Awesome. Welcome. So, my thing for you is the first team member that I always recommend a startup doctor hires, depending upon the doctor. So, if you're a doctor who has a lot of front office experience, you were a team member before, this probably isn't the hire that you need to make. If you're a brand new doctor straight out of dental school and you're like, hey, all I really know how to do are my preps, I know those really well. I know how to do the dentistry, but the business side, literally know nothing. The first hires I would make is honestly a good dental consultant, and I'd hire a really good office manager. Those would be my first two things because clinical wise, you can do the hygiene. You can also do the dental assisting. I know it's not convenient. There are Mr. Thirsties. There are a lot of things. I know it's not as ideal, but that's an easier position for you as doctors to train. The front office is always the most daunting for most people. That office manager has to be really good at three things. They got to be good at scheduling, they got to be good at treatment coordinating, and they've got to be good at billing. Three things. So you're looking for kind of a needle in a haystack. But if you can find that person who's got the experience, they will be expensive. So, some options you can do, because I always know startup practices are concerned about this, is how much is that going to cost? What do I need to do for this? And the reality is, I'll tell you what happened with me. I went and I worked with a new doctor. So, straight out of school, we had $2.5 million of debt. True story. So, I don't want to hear debt stories. I know what it feels like to be massively in debt. And guess what? I was a part owner of that because what this doctor did, she hired me for $50,000. And now I'm not saying this to brag. I just want to give you guys a good baseline because people ask me this all the time. If you were to hire me today, Kiera Dent, as your office manager, my best offer I was offered was $350 working 2 days a week and remote. That's good money. I said no because I love being a consultant and I love doing my own thing and I'm really not a good employee anymore. But if you wanted to hire a Kiera Dent, that's what you're going to be looking at paying. And I'm working 2 days a week for you. I'm basically a consultant for $350,000 minimum. My fee might have gone up to $450. That's ridiculous. And I don't want any of you to be like, you're like, what the heck, Kiera? That's like more than I get paid. That's true. And this was for a group practice. I was going to be overseeing a lot of it, very large practice. You know, those large practices are producing a ton of money. I would be over multiple millions dollars worth of revenue every single month. My fee to that experience was worthwhile to them. But what the other office did, this other doctor, she hired me for $50,000, which I would not take today. But someone who's driven wanting to do it, she offered me sweat equity in the company. So I had a 10% ownership for my first couple of years. So, and this is like, I had different nuances, but this is a way that you guys can get great talent while extending some equity. And it's really their sweat equity of how much the business grows. You're going to pay them a percentage. Do I think now I would offer 10%? No, that feels pretty high. But she was able to get me for a way cheaper price. And guess what? As an office manager, I knew how to do the scheduling. I'm a wildly good scheduler. I'm really good at treatment coordinating. I could close any case. That's helpful to get treatment on the books. It's really helpful. And you also have somebody who's scrappy. I went around to businesses. I took out business cards. I went around and met people. I helped build the sign. Like I was doing all these additional things in addition to being a scheduler, being a treatment coordinator, and then billing wasn't my super strong suit, but I knew how to do it well enough that I could bill for us, I could set it up, I could get us credentialed, get all those things in place. So in that, I feel that's one of your best hires you can make. And that's a way that you can get great talent, but not have to pay the high fee because I know cash flow as a startup practice is your biggest concern. How do I pay this office manager 75,000, 80, 90 when I'm not even taking that much home myself? It's a really hard balance. And so if you can, before you even get into a startup, I would suggest that you actually ask for working capital. Now, if I'm meeting you before that's the case, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Kiera. What we can do then is you can offer the sweat equity of a bonus of maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, run the numbers to know how much that's going to cost you at the end of the year, and then start making a little savings fund so you can pay this person out at the end of the year without it hurting your cash flow. That way, it's only a percentage on the growth. You just have to make sure that you keep your bills in place. So that is a way. Otherwise, put out an ad. You can probably get a pretty good treatment coordinator who's wanted to go on and become an office manager to come in, but you've got to get someone who's scrappy that can pretty much do it all for you. You also might be able to outsource your billing. So those are some different ways that you can kind of get what you need, but not have to pay the high cost. Some outsourced billing companies. I've got some good friends. Paragon's a great one that I love that I refer to all the time. Shasta's incredible. Other ones that there's quite a few. Verifixed is a great one. Verific's a great one for insurance verification. But a lot of these things you can do. So as a startup practice, I love you guys hiring that position of that front office. And then clinical, you can do the hygiene, you can do the assisting. So then my next position that I would hire, so office manager first, who can do scheduling, billing, and treatment coordinating is number one. You're going to pay a pretty penny for them. That's okay. Just budget it in, but realize you're getting like 3 people in one person because it's a startup, but you got to get this scrappy. Like you need someone who's hungry, who's in this to win this with you, is a personality you're looking for. I also love helping startup doctors because if this was my client, I would say, hey, fantastic, great news. I'm going to help you write the ad. This is where we're going to post it. Speaking of which, I love Viva HR. If you guys aren't using our link, you can post unlimited ads on all the major platforms for like $99 a month. So Viva HR, email in. I'm happy to give you guys that link. We have an affiliate link with them to give you guys a discount. I don't get anything from it. I just ask them to give you guys a discount. So email in hello@thedentalteam.com. I think it's Viva HR /DAT. But email in. I want to make sure you guys get that discount. So with that, I would say, perfect. I'm going to help you write this. Let's post it on Viva HR. That's going to save you. It's $99 a month versus $99 per post. I'm going to save you a ton of money that way. And then also I'm going to help you interview this person. So I'm going to give you interview questions to ask this person because you don't know what you're looking for, but I know what I'm looking for. So our next coaching call, let's actually set it up and I'll interview these people with you to teach you how to interview and what questions to be asking for. If I can't get on the interview call with you, I'm going to do a role play with you as if you're my new person, send you the questions to ask. That's what it would be like to be a client with us, working with us. So then from there, what I'd say is the next position to hire would probably be a dental assistant. So you can do more procedures quicker and you can have them flip the rooms for you instead of you needing to do it. So a dental assistant and an office manager are top 2 hires for me as a brand new person into the practice. Again, the things that I don't think are trainable are grit, hunger, stamina. I always say you can train a treatment coordinator, but truthfully, I found that you want to find somebody who just genuinely loves to sell. They love to sell. They love to create that. You want someone who's hungry for that because it's not innate in all people to want to talk about money, to want to fill a schedule, and to be literally tenacious about doing it. I have such a drive for competition, for winning, for being the best. And that's really the kind of personality you're looking for. Of course, you can hire other personalities, but I'm telling you, if I'm looking for this, that's what I'd want. Also, for my culture index gurus out there, if you want to know, my profile is a persuader. I am ridiculously strong on autonomy and people skills, very fast paced, and I've got a swing hook for my details. So I don't love details, but I will pay attention to details. I have a pretty, I'm very much in the middle on my logic, and my innovation is pretty high on my innovation. Granted, I'm now a CEO of a consulting company, so you don't need someone quite as autonomous, quite as innovative. Bring them down a little bit. And my EU is a 59, if that helps you guys know. I don't think you need that profile, but just so you know, if you're looking for a treatment coordinator, that is the profile that I'd recommend looking for because they're darn good at selling if that's what you're looking for. So back to my startup doctor, what we're also going to want to look for is when you want to hire hygienists, I like to stack a schedule in where hygienists typically are. We know that a lot of hygienists actually temp on Fridays. So if I was starting up a practice, which I have done many of, I actually start filling a schedule for hygiene on Fridays. So as a startup doctor, you bring patients in. Yes, they're scheduled for a cleaning, but if you can do same day dentistry on them, let's do that. And let's bring them back for a hygiene appointment where we actually fill a schedule on Friday. Then you can have a hygienist come on Friday, see all those cleaning patients, and you do treatment. So just bring them back, loop them over there, and I start to build my Friday and my Thursday schedule because that's easier for me to hire a hygienist for those 2 days as opposed to trying to do it across the board. Other things startup doctors can do is you can do rotating schedules. There's lots of things you can do. So it looks like you're open more days, but you're not open all the time to cut down your payroll costs. But really, those are the first team members that I recommend you hire and how to hire for cash flow. I really feel like so many skills are trainable. And on our Dental A team, we have our Kickstart Virtual Academy where we have training that's CE for every single position. And I truly do think for startup doctors, learning all the positions of the practice, which is why I made these courses, why we made these videos, they are in depth, they're lengthy, but it's because I've got downloadable forms. I've got all the information. I give you one-on-ones. I tell you the reports you should be running. I give you job descriptions for every single one of them, plus an operations manual that has so many of the things. I have a whole list of every protocol you should have in your practice. You just now need to create them for your practice, but the entire list is there. 90% of the thinking is already done for you. You just then have to go build it for your software and your practice. But we walk you through it. We teach you, we help you with that. And so for it, I just feel as a startup doctor, the more you can learn about each position, the less I feel gullible you are, the less vulnerable you are, and the more confident you are with these positions. So, as my client, if this was who it was, I would say to you, fantastic. So, first steps first, we're going to write a really awesome ad for this office manager. We're then going to post it up. We're going to interview for this person. We're also going to look for a dental assistant, and we're also going to look for a hygienist. But before we do all of that, I want you to figure out your core values. Thinking about when you started your practice, what were the 3 core things as to what you wanted it to be? For me, it's fun. It's go above and beyond, add the sprinkles, and do the right thing. That's it. And then with the add the sprinkles, it's like add the sprinkles with ease. So those are the pieces that have made me, those are my core of our company. And I'm going to hire people to that core. I feel like it was so cheesy and so cliche of hiring for culture. But I feel like the more experience I get and the larger our company gets and the number of mishires or not ideal hires or turnover that I've experienced, really, if you can hire for culture. And as a new startup doctor, that doesn't mean you give them the moon. That means we hold them accountable, we have high expectations, and we love them and serve them and give them the best life while also having them give us the best life too. I believe in having people work hard, dedicated with grit and tenacity, and also giving them the best working place to work. Do fun things for them. Look for ways to serve and love them, but don't do everything to where you're constantly the one who's working late because you want them to get off. Have them operate the business with you. And I think you're going to have more loyal employees, employees who get it, employees who are there with you, and you won't be resentful. So, those would be my action items for this office. Hopefully, for those of you who already have it, it's also a good thing to remember what are we hiring for? We're always hiring to our core values. We're looking for how can we maximize and optimize each position? What do we truly need? And how could we actually save funds, do things a little more strategically, and be able to get the same results? So, with that, if we can help you, if you want to have coaching calls like this, if you want to have opportunities where it's really what do I do, what's trainable, what's not for you specifically, reach out. I would love to work with you. hello@thedentalateam.com. And be sure to click on the link on our website, thedentalateam.com, and just book a call. We'll chat with you. We'll give you tips and ideas. Even if you opt not to be a client, I know you'll probably want to be, but there's no risk for you because I want you guys to come and to always get value and to know what it would be like. But this is an example of a coaching call with the tactical, with the practical. And to this doctor, thank you for reaching out. Thank you for being a Dental A Team listener. For those of you, if you want me to help do podcasts for you, go onto our website, thedentalateam.com, submit some podcast topics. And as always, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time on the Dental A Team podcast. And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental A Team podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.